In.
Thank you very much.
There you go.
Cheers.
Thank you very much. There's the big clock.
Thank you, Simon. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ross Nichols. I'm the co-founder of Just Move In, and we make it easier to move home, whether you're buying, selling, or renting a property. The problem is that moving home in the UK is a painful experience. There are dozens of services that need to be connected at the point of moving home, and nowhere centrally to manage that. The slides aren't working, by the way. Oh, here we go. Dozens of services that need to be connected at the point of moving home, and there's nowhere centrally that manages that entire process for you. It's an incredibly painful experience with dozens of things that can but don't be streamlined, and all of this stuff takes you days of time to manage. As you saw from the previous screen, there's over 35 different types of services that you could connect to. People are also trading trusted advice at that point of moving, and comparison sites just do not cater for that move experience. They're very focused on trying to sell you services that generate them the most commission. So we've developed a platform that helps to simplify that whole process and make it easier to move into a property. We personalize your experience by pulling information from third parties that we work with, then provide a seamless experience as you're moving in or out of a property. We save people hours of time by connecting all these things into one platform, and then give you rapid sign-up journeys to insurance products, broadband suppliers, or it could be removals. So there's three things that our service does. Firstly, we do change of address. This helps us to build a relationship with the mover at the point of moving into the property. We don't make money from this, but it helps us to build a relationship so that we can then sell you more services down the track. We've built integrations with a number of these third-party systems so that we can process data very efficiently. Secondly, we will register you for paid services where we earn a fee. As you can see from the list here, there's different services that are available, and you can personalize your experience as you go through that journey. We've then integrated directly with different suppliers and embed the payments and terms and conditions of those suppliers within our platform. So we're not going to send you out to a boring comparison site. And lastly, we will, if we see you as a high-value customer and you've identified as selecting enough services where we earn a commercial fee, we'll actually invite you to book in for an appointment with one of our move specialists. And that person will upsell you as you go through the process and has now the capabilities. On average, we're seeing around £1,000 in contract value per day that's booked, and some of the team are doing 2,000. We're very pleased and proud to have maintained the highest Trustpilot score of anybody within our sector over the last 12 months as we've grown the business, which is 4.8 from over 1,500 reviews. And in terms of how we work and access those moves, we partner with very large organizations that have access to customers who are moving home at just the right time, and we deliver the service in a co-branded way. So brands like OpenRent, the largest letting agency in the UK, or brands like Pickford's, a removals business, who introduce our service to every one of their customers at the point of moving home. Two reasons why partners work with us. Number one, customer experience. We make them look good by providing their customers with a lovely move-in experience. And secondly, money. So we earn fees, and they earn some of that for the troubles. We're also working with a lot, or talking to a lot of potential partners, all of which on this screen we expect to go live over the course of the next 12 to 18 months. And they deliver collectively 2 million moves a year. Over the course of the last 12 months, we've almost doubled the move volume that's coming into our platform, and we're now processing 10,000 moves a month, and we expect to double that volume over the course of the next year. This slide helps to hopefully demonstrate the process. So at the top, you have the partners. We integrate with those via our own API, or if it's an agency in the UK, we work with a lot of the CRMs and have built integrations with them directly, so we get all of the move data at exactly the right milestones. Whether you've signed a tenancy agreement or whether you've got to the exchange process, we know exactly when that happens, comes into our system, we enrich it with additional APIs that we plug into, so we then know which suppliers are in the property and available before you even move in, and then we pass that information off to the 500 plus suppliers that we work with already, including councils and the likes of the insurance companies too. This is a snapshot of some of the commercial suppliers that we're already live with today, which covers everything from energy through to insurance. And we make money in four ways. Upfront commission from registering or retaining a customer for some of these partners. We then earn trail commission for things like insurance. So we earn upfront, and then if you renew, which 85% of people do within 12 months, we get paid again. We then also make money from SaaS revenue, both from a mover perspective and for some of those partners. And then lastly, there's upgrades as movers go through the digital experience. So much in the same way that an airline works, as you're going through, you can upgrade as you're booking that particular service. In terms of move volume, we expect to get to, well, the move market itself is around 6 million moves a year by 2027, and we expect to serve over 500,000 customers within that time frame. And with an average customer value of over £200, we get to over £100 million in revenue. We've got some great foundations in place already. We are just coming to the end of our financial year this month, and we'll do just under £1 million worth of revenue, and we expect that to grow to 165% over the course of the next year. We see the move as the entry point into your life, whereby if we can provide you with a great experience on the way in, we can then help you to settle in and upsell you additional products and services beyond that. And how we presented this previously to investors is that we're building Experian, but for the home. We've got an amazing team already in place, over 50 people in the UK, led by our chairman, John Browett, who's the chief exec, or was chief exec of Dixons, Tesco.com, and Dunelm. And to date, we've raised £7 million from some incredible angel investors, and we're now raising £2 million to get us through to profitability within the next 12 months. And that money is going to go on building out our payments platform, as well as enhancing the overall move experience for our movers. If you'd like to learn more about what we're doing, please come and grab me afterwards. I'll be more than happy to dig into all the financials. Thank you very much for listening.
Ross, thank you very much. Excellent presentation. Let's, judges, who would like to go first? Gonzalo.
Great presentation and amazing. The finishing right on time, so perfect. I guess you've been just so your market is just the UK. Have you analyzed other markets? Because this is a pain everywhere, by the
Sure.
way.
Yeah.
Have you seen the opportunity in other markets? You have that in the pipeline, or not for the moment?
Yeah, it's a great question. We're very focused on the UK right now because we want to go and become, we already are the biggest, but the number one player managing 25-30% of all moves in the UK, which we think we can get to, and have the partners to go and deliver that. If you look in the US, there's a company called Updata. Some of you in the room may be aware of them. They were an American business that listed on the Australian Stock Exchange. We share seed investors with that business. So we can see what they've done in the US, and they're now at about 20% move volume over there. We've got investors all over the world who've all said, come to the Middle East, come to Asia, come to Australia, and I think there's definite opportunities for that, but for the next 3 years, we're laser focused on the UK market, become the dominant player, and then start to look at those other territories. And there are companies around the world that are doing what looks like what we're doing, but in a very dumb way. So we've built this technology engine that automates a lot of the payments and the integrations with those suppliers. Most people will be sending you off to a third-party affiliate site to complete that journey where you have to add all the information, your payment details, and your address from scratch, and it's a pretty clunky experience. So yes.
Okay, thank you. Just one other question, when you sign this type of partnerships with portals, for example, or with realtors, is it on exclusivity, or because you have competitors, right? So
Never exclusive.
Never exclusive. No? Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Who would like to go next? Ben?
Yeah, please. So, great presentation. Just on your revenue, you mentioned you're doing around 10,000 moves a month now, and your average revenue per move 200.
No, that's the forecast for year 5.
Okay, sorry.
So today it's about £130.
Okay, all right. When you're reporting on your revenue, are you actually taking the payments for the services you're providing, Sky and things like that, and is that included in your revenue?
No, that's separate. That's transactional value, which is very interesting. The area we're moving into, which is one of the things that was on what we're going to do with the money, is to build out the SaaS platform for movers. So for the last 3 months, we've been experimenting with bundling all of your services into one payment: council tax, water, insurance, everything. And around 30% of our customers are wanting that product. It's primitive as it currently is, but that is where the money will go. And then we can start to layer on additional services beyond the move. So if you see when somebody moves in, they're going to have to tell their car insurance provider and a bunch of other services that they're moving. We can capture that data now with open banking to say, great, I can see that you're working with all these companies. Do you want me to tell them that you've moved house? Yes, please. And then in 6 months' time, we can automate a notification to say, great news, Joe Blogs, your car insurance is coming out for renewal, would you like us to help you with that? And that's all automated. And so that is, we've got this human component in some cases at the beginning, but that really helps to build the relationship, and that drives conversion, which then enables us to digitize the whole process beyond that.
Fantastic, thanks.
Ryan?
Great presentation. I was just wondering how much is automated, and I think you started to answer that there. So how much is people power and how much is automated?
Yeah, it's a great question. So when we started out, it was a phone, it was a spreadsheet, and it was a Squarespace website. We figured out that actually to deliver a great service, you have to have some human involvement somewhere. And we spent the last 4 years building the platform to automate as much as possible behind the scenes, so that when the customer gets on the phone to one of our team for that 20-minute phone call, they've already done all the free stuff online. We've already taken their information about potentially payment details as well, and so we top and tail that phone experience with the digital. So at the moment, 95% plus revenue is coming from the phone team or the voice team. We're moving into chat, moving into other ways to digitize that process, but we see the volume of digital traffic going through that experience from a purely digital online revenue journey getting up to 85-90% within the course of the next 5 years. But having that phone component or the voice component is so critical to provide great value, and we'll start to charge for that. So one of the things you saw at the end was premium upgrades. If you want to speak to one of our team today, you're going to pay £30 for that. And Manchester United Football Club that you saw on the slide, they're paying for the service. And so it's a different model for different partners, but in most cases it's premium, and then they upgrade as they go through.
Great. I had another question, but I'm about to run out of time, so I'll ask it.
That's okay. No, an observation from me.
Yeah.
I've sat through a lot of these presentations. I thought that was a very smooth presentation, as in a good way,
Thank you.
right?
Apart from the clicker.
Forget the clicker, right? I mean, I thought it was a very smooth, well structured, and it took you couldn't help but know by the end of it what you do, how you're going, and what you're trying to raise, and yeah, I don't think you actually mentioned the valuation at that, which is clearly the question that will.
I also didn't say, of the 2 million we're raising, we went out on Friday to our existing investors. We've got 750 that's been committed in less than a week, and there's a number of VCs that we're in pretty late stage talks with. But I think the audience in this room is amazing for us, and I think potentially for when we go outside of the UK, having access to those portals and the CRMs is really where we want to get to. So,
Well done, Ross. Fantastic.
thanks, Simon. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Okay.